Our guys just worked so hard in the offseason, and we knew this moment would come, and we here and we won it.
The University of Virginia men's basketball team is returning to Charlottesville today as national champions after pulling off that thrilling overtime victory in the NCAA tournament. We have highlights and details on how you can welcome the Hoos home later today. Mintzer's is the place to be this afternoon. Fans are packing into both store locations, including on the corner, to stock up on some brand new championship gear.
Live in high definition from the area's most experienced news team, this is NBC 29 HD News at Noon.
After that thrilling game between the University of Virginia and Texas Tech last night, Cavalier fans are coming back to Charlottesville. Hundreds of fans flew out on chartered flights to Minneapolis to watch the Hoos win their first NCAA championship title. They are expected to arrive back home at Charlottesville-Albemarle Airport throughout the day. That's where we find NBC 29's Lowell Rose live with our top story at noon. Good afternoon, Lowell.
Good afternoon, Matt, and wahoo wah. The airport is expecting an increased amount of traffic today with 3 charter planes heading from Minneapolis. Now, all of which filled with exciting and overjoyed fans and alumni from UVA. Now, that fans leaving the airport Friday told us that when they came back home today, the Hoos would be national champions, and they were exactly right. Now, because of those 3 charter planes going to the Final Four in championship games, Cho says Friday was one of its busiest days in history, with close to 600 additional passengers flying by charter. Now, in addition to those fans flying in today, the team is flying in sometime this afternoon. There will be a welcome back celebration at John Paul Jones Arena starting at 4 p.m. The team is expected to arrive between 4:45 and 5 o'clock. Now, we'll have complete coverage of both the fans arriving and the team arriving back to Charlottesville.
An exciting day, that's for sure. Lowell Rose starting us off live at Charlottesville-Albemarle Airport this afternoon. Thank you, Lowell. University of Virginia men's basketball fans are getting all their championship gear. It is flying off shelves at Mintzer's on the corner. Dozens of fans lined up in front of the store before it even opened at 7:30 this morning to get their hands on all that championship gear after the team's big win against Texas Tech last night. After the final buzzer, store employees say they worked overnight getting those shirts ready. We will hear from some of the first fans to get their hands on that new merchandise coming up in our next half hour. The Hoos made history by defeating Texas Tech in that exciting overtime performance to bring home their first championship title in program history. NBC 29's Marty Hutloff has reaction from the team in Minneapolis.
And Virginia with the all-time turnaround title.
The Cavaliers win their first ever national championship.
We came in together and said that we were going to win a national championship, and, you know, to be able to hug each other with confetti going everywhere and say we did it, it's, you know, the greatest feeling I've ever felt in basketball.
Kyle Guy hit 4 3-pointers and finished with 24 points, helping the Hoos beat Texas Tech in one of the most exciting championship games ever. DeAndre Hunter scored 22 of his career-high 27 points in the second half, including a game-tying 3-pointer with 12 seconds left. Virginia wins it in overtime.
We got more stops than them. We knew it was going to be a defensive battle. We knew the team that got more stops was probably going to win, and we did that.
We just believe in each other, we believe in ourselves, and we don't stop playing until that final buzzer goes off.
In a critical moment, we're able to hit big shots. And now we're champion.
Virginia's redemption tour is now complete. 1 year after becoming the first ever 1 seed to lose to a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, the Virginia Cavaliers are national champions.
Unbelievable, man. We did it. We did it. And just to recover from that and, you know, grow closer as a team and accomplish this, you know, the first one in school history, it's unbelievable.
That can only mature you. I don't know of anything else that would allow these guys to be able to handle this situation and to play through stuff and to have a perspective and a poise and resiliency unless they went through something that hard.
You know, to battle through everything we battled through and come out on top is a, you know, fantastic feeling.
We have a trophy. We're the best in college basketball right now.
The games prior to this one, I don't know how we did it. We just kept fighting. We found a way. These dudes are unbelievable. I'm so happy to be a part of this.
It's amazing. My sister here, some cousins, uncles, aunties, to do it for my family and for the people that laid the foundation before us. It's just surreal.
This is why I transferred here. I mean, I wanted to win a national championship. Could have gone to other schools and probably not have been an opportunity to win a championship. And just being able to play on the big stage, I mean, it's a lifelong dream that I've completed successfully.
And I told our guys in the locker room, I just said, put your arms around each other. I said, take a look at every guy in here. Look at each other. I said, promise me you will remain humble and thankful for this. Don't let this change you. It's a great story. That's probably the best way I can end this. It's a great story.
With the national champion Virginia Cavaliers in Minneapolis, Marty Hutloff, NBC 29 Sports.
Of course, after all that celebrating, you have the big cleanup, and cleanup crews in Charlottesville worked into the early morning hours to clear trash and debris from last night's victory celebrations. Boylan Heights, Christian's Pizza, and the White Spot on the corner all had staff working up to close up the shops at 4:30 this morning. Yeah, they're closing 4:30 this morning. Christian's and the White Spot even had a few customers still inside. Charlottesville street cleaners and public works crews were also busy removing all that trash from the street. While the corner was a mess last night, it is close as it can be to being as clean as it was before the big game. Check out the scene last night on the UVA corner. Those fans inside the bars streamed out into the streets after the final buzzer. They flooded those streets to celebrate the big win. They chanted, sang songs, threw some beers, and climbed poles, like right there, to celebrate their newly crowned City of Champions. There was not an empty seat at the John Paul Jones Arena last night. Thousands of fans packed in there for the university's official watch party. They cheer on the Who's and watch the game on the Jumbotron. Doors opened at 8 o'clock and seats filled up in less than an hour. Students, parents, and people who live in the area say gathering at the home court of the Who's to watch the historic game was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Fans also crowded Charlottesville's downtown mall to celebrate UVA's big win. People cheered, smiled, a whole lot of hugs going on there. Also, you had to take some selfies to remember the special night. Some fans we talked to traveled in from out of state to be a part of the excitement in Charlottesville. Many of the bars and restaurants on the downtown mall even stayed open late for a Monday night so that people could keep those celebrations going. The university will honor the championship team with a celebration Saturday afternoon at Scott Stadium. Gates open at 12:30 with the event expected to get underway at 2 o'clock. Parking in the lots surrounding Scott Stadium is free. It's on a first-come, first-served basis. Admission is also free, but the university wants to remind fans about its clear bag policy. Concession stands on the west side of Scott Stadium will be open, and they will have plenty of championship merchandise for sale. Congrats to the Who's. After months of searching, Charlottesville has a new city manager. Teron Richardson comes to Charlottesville from DeSoto, Texas, where he's been city manager since 2011. Richardson previously worked with the city of Richmond and has a PhD in public policy from Virginia Commonwealth University. He will begin his duties in Charlottesville May 12th. Charlottesville's real estate tax rate will stay the same next fiscal year. City Council unanimously approved the $188 million budget in a special meeting Monday. The real estate tax rate will remain at 95 cents for every $100 of assessed value. Earlier this year, Council considered raising the rate by 1%. Council also approved a relief package to help offset an increase in property assessments this year. Council is hopeful it can develop a housing strategy to be more progressive on taxing so people are not forced to move out of the city. The Virginia Department of Transportation is remembering its workers killed on the job. VDOT held its annual vigil Monday to honor those killed and injured in work zone crashes. They held a moment of silence for the lives lost and also reiterated why it's so important to drive safely, especially while traveling through a work zone.
In 2018, the numbers are better, about 5.4% better. There are still 2,523 crashes, 1,258 injuries, and 9 fatalities. And what our whole aim in highway safety is to accept nothing less than zero.
The annual vigil is typically held outside at the memorial on Interstate 64, but officials moved it indoors this year due to the threat of some severe weather. The water quality of the Rivanna River seems to be improving. A new report from the Rivanna Conservation Alliance shows lower levels of bacteria compared to last year. The Alliance tests samples of the water monthly during the off months and also weekly during the summer. Members say high levels of harmful bacteria are usually found after heavy rainfall and warmer temperatures.
2018 was hopefully an unusual year for bacteria levels. We're already seeing the water levels drop back to more of a normal level, so we're hoping that this year we see much lower bacteria levels as a result.
The group tested water at Riverview and Dardentow parks over the weekend. Results show levels of bacteria were well below the state's recreational standards. For a full list of the conservation's data, you can visit our website, NBC29.com. The annual Tom Tom Festival is underway right now in Charlottesville. 5 events are planned for today, including the Youth Innovation Conference and UVA Race and Place walking tour. This year's festival features 300 events and more than 400 speakers. The Tom Tom Festival kicked off Monday and wraps up Sunday. We have a full list of all the events on our website, NBC29.com. A special demolition is making a whole lot of noise at a pretty quiet Bible camp in Iowa. The camp borrowed a tank to tear down 2 buildings to make way for some new construction on grounds.
And clouds will be gradually clearing this afternoon as a secondary cold front pushes through. I'll share with you what this will do to the temperatures for tomorrow coming up.